might think, well, all those other guys realistically can maybe be expected to win their games, not Sam Darnold. But Baker Mayfield just got a win for the first time in 17 years. And people didn't even know this. The Browns hadn't won in 17 years. I mean, he got a win, a come-from-behind win. And Sam Darnold threw the interception that salted away the win for Cleveland. Guys, before I even get to that, do you understand the market that Sam Darnold is playing in? So Paul McCartney was dishing about the Beatles', let's call it personal lives, a couple weeks ago. You know what the headline in the New York Post was?
What?
Beat the Meatles. That's what Sam Darnold is up against. Beat the Meatles, the New York Post and Daily News headline writers. These other guys don't have to deal with that. There is the pressure of the New York market, which is just different. I know it's not as football obsessed because there's more to do. And a town like Cleveland, they're staring at you. Buffalo, it's all Bills Mafia and they're staring at you. But New York, the amount of media is ridiculous. This guy's 21 years old. He just threw an INT to lose to Baker Mayfield. And now he faces the Jaguars defense, the best defense of this little mini generation of football. I'm not saying he's got to win. I'm saying don't throw 3-4 picks. He is under pressure. And remember when I said start Teddy Bridgewater? Because if you start a 21-year-old rookie week 1, there's nowhere to go. Well, guess what? There's nowhere to go. He is under the most pressure right now.
I don't feel that way. I feel like it's Baker Mayfield, and it's not like it's going to make a difference. He's your starting quarterback. He's the #1 overall pick. He's the franchise. I'm not trying to take this to that ultra level, but I'm talking about for the purposes of week 4. The reason why I feel he's the one under the most pressure is because of the level of competition he's going up against. With all them damn problems in Oakland, all this euphoria that we've been riding about Baker Mayfield and how good he looked or whatever, you want to see that bad boy come tumbling down? Excuse me, go out there and play like garbage against John Gruden's Oakland Raiders, the Khalil Mack-less Oakland Raiders, and watch what people are saying about you then. You got Josh Rosen going up against Seattle, okay? We've got Sam Darnold going up against Jacksonville. When we look at it from that perspective, you've got tough competition. When you look at the Raiders, there's so many damn question marks right there, and there's so many people pointing at what they don't have, and there's so many people pointing at how they have looked without the services of Khalil Mack, to the point where John Gruden, the man who traded him away, still finds up the gumption, the nerve, the gall, I might add, to show up in post-game conferences talking about, we don't have a pass rush. Well, duh, you think? Why don't you have a pass rush? Why do you think you don't have a pass rush? Could it be the guy you let go? I mean, This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So it's not like it's the end of the world no matter what. But when we're comparing the young quarterbacks, whether it's Josh Allen, whether it's Josh Rosen, whether it's Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield, when we're looking at them, it's about the level of competition that they're going up against this week, the kind of things that have been said about them. If you look at the euphoric atmosphere that Baker Mayfield created to go against Oakland and suddenly wet the bed, that would not be good.
Here's the thing. Because Baker Mayfield has created this euphoria in Cleveland, he's good the rest of the year.
He got a little equity.
He got a little equity. He has deposited things into the emotional bank account of the state of Ohio. He's fine. From one game. Because you didn't win it. Because you haven't won a game in 635 days. Years. And so, you got everybody free Bud Light. You're good forever. It's Sam Darnold.
Forever?
And for at least this year.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to be the 30th guy on that shirt that has all the quarterbacks, and you're going to be the 30th for a while. Because unless you get hurt, Baker Mayfield's the quarterback. And I think he's the best one of the group. I said that when the draft was here. Sam Darnold is under the most pressure, and here's why he's under more pressure than the other guys. Because when you trot Sam Darnold out on day 1, you let the world know he's ready. He's arrived. This is our guy. This guy can win games. Our team can be great with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Because Baker Mayfield sits behind Tyrod Taylor, you're saying, oh, no, you know what? We had to wait on him.
He's going up against the Jags defense.
And that's even,
Stephen A. pointed out, the Raiders defense hasn't done much.
Right, but people,
they're not going to do much.
Here's the thing is, you don't look at it that way because Sam Darnold, you look at week 1, how does he start the game against the Detroit Lions? With an interception. The reason you lose against the Cleveland Browns is because you give them 2 more possessions because you throw 2 interceptions. He hasn't.
And what was the deal coming out of college with Sam Darnold in his second year as a starter?
You had turnover issues. Baker Mayfield has bought himself the time to develop. When you come in as Josh Allen, you're only quarterback. You know, we feel like you needed to be developed, but you're only there because Nathan Peterman couldn't hold the job. Josh Rosen, you're there because Sam Bradford is doing Sam Bradford type things. Sam Darnold won the job. He won the job. It wasn't given to him. It wasn't passed down to him because another guy didn't play. Nobody got a concussion that put you in the game in the second quarter. You went out and they said you were the best person to take this team to wins this year, and you weren't playing like it. You are under the most scrutiny. If this team falls to 1-3 and Sam Darnold doesn't play well against the Jags, the type of scrutiny he will be under would be unlike any of the scrutiny that the other three quarterbacks are under. Sam Darnold has to win this week, and he has to play well, or the full throttle of the New York media will be on top of his head.
Good arguments. I just don't agree with you. And the reason I don't agree with you is because I don't think that Baker Mayfield is set for the year. Let him go out and stink up the joint for a few weeks in Cleveland, and let's see how folks then. Because I mean, when you're accustomed, dare I say, addicted to misery. You understand?
Right.
Because the ineptitude is just so alarming to the point where
The Jets or the Browns?
Where it numbs you. Well, as bad as the Jets have been, the Cleveland Browns are on another level. The fact is, it can be so numbing, you forget, and then all of a sudden you become euphoric one night, and then somebody brings you back down to that abyss.
Yeah, it hurts more.
It's just a matter.
Yeah.
Nobody,
Taking you up
nobody expects. Nobody who
Stay
knows
with me.
football expects Baker Mayfield to be that every week.
Well, again, it's not about every week. I specifically said Oakland. Keep that in mind. I said this week. That's number one. Number two, here's where you don't have, even you with your football experience, you don't even have an argument here. This brother is from Louisiana, ain't that right?
Yeah.
You ain't from New York. You don't know what it's like to be associated with the Jets and their ineptitude for years to the point where you are numb, and then all of a sudden they tease you while get to an AFC Championship game, and then all of a sudden they plummet again.
That's why Darnold's under the pressure.
He don't know that. He don't know that number feeling.